Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Onion Rings. First off, I just owe you guys an apology. The reason I haven't been active for a few days is not 100% my fault. I've been trying to stream for you guys. About 2 days after I did that last Star Wars stream, which was like 4 days ago, I did try to stream again, and I couldn't get it to work. And I also was trying to do this video that I'm doing right now, my build video. I was trying to do it for you guys, and the first thing was I tried getting some footage because I wanted to play some gameplay after the actual build setup so you guys could see how it performed. And that's when I first noticed I was having problems with OBS, my encoding software I use, Open Broadcaster software. It's working now, as you can tell. I still don't know what the exact issue is. It has something to do with my AMD encoder, which is the VCE or whatever, the one that uses your graphics card to encode instead of your CPU, which is what I prefer for streaming because when I'm gaming and streaming at the same time, usually my CPU usage gets really high, and that causes frame dips and lag. So I normally prefer to use my graphics card to encode my videos, or my streams anyway, while I'm gaming. I'm okay to use the CPU right now because this game isn't that CPU intensive, and also I'm not really going to be fighting anything. I'm just sitting here, so right now my CPU usage is only around 10%, so I'm fine. There shouldn't be any like really bad lag or anything for you guys. This should be in 720p 60 FPS too, so again, I apologize for not being able to bring you guys more videos. I'm working on it. And I also apologize if I sound hoarse or funny. I woke up to a little present from my niece. I got her sickness, but it's alright. I'll get through it. Right now my throat hurts. I don't have a cough or anything, but if I pause like I just did, it's because I'm swallowing, because it freaking hurts. It's really annoying. But enough about me complaining. Let's get into my build. I am running 4-piece Alpha Bridge with Reckless and Savage. First we'll get into my weapons. As you guys know, my Alpha Bridge, or the Alpha Bridge set, the 2 pieces health regeneration. I think that this should be different, in my opinion. It definitely helps, I won't lie. It does help to have extra health regeneration, especially if you're also standing in a support station, or you mix it with Predatory, which I do have. Then you're regenerating health at a pretty fast speed, and usually you can tank through some of the pain if like one dude is shooting at you. This extra health regeneration plus like a support station, or like I said, Predatory ticking away, that can really help keep you up, especially if your heal is down. The third piece is 5% weapon damage. I think this should be like 8% because that's what Predator's Mark gets. Of course, Predator's Mark is only for assault rifles. This is for every weapon, but I still think it should be a little bit higher. But that, again, this is just me. I'm not a game designer. I don't know like what works best. But then the 4 pieces, the bread and butter, of course. That's what it is with most builds. If your primary and secondary weapon is of the same category, like SMG, AR, LMG, etc., etc., they both gain all the unique active talents. So I have 2 assault rifles here. I am working on getting 2 LMGs. I've been grinding out in the Dark Zone. I'm trying to get a Hungry Hog, which is the best LMG right now. The talents aren't the greatest, but it has the highest damage per hit. And then I'm going to get a secondary LMG to sit in the bottom slot for the talents. And if you guys are rolling Alpha Bridge, one thing I would highly recommend is use a 182 gun for your second gun, because you're not using this gun. It's only strictly for the talents. And the great thing about 182s is, you can see here, the stat requirements are much lower. I would never be able to have competent and adept on this weapon if it was a 229, because they would want like 4,000 firearms, or electronics, sorry. So there's no way I would ever be able to have them. But since it only wants 2,000, I can easily get 2,000 electronics. So anyway, my primary, I'm using a black market AK-74. It's not my go-to choice for the main weapon, but this thing hits like a fucking beast. It does 19.9k damage per hit with my current firearms, which compared to a 229, say an ACR, I don't know if I have any. I'm sorry again, like I said, for the throat clearing and stuff, guys. let's see, what can we compare it to? I don't actually think I have. No, I do not have an assault rifle around my level right now. I've got rid of all of them pretty much, but if you compare it, I think the AK does about like 2,000 to 2,500 more damage per hit than a gun that level. I mean, you can't really compare it to this 182 because, I mean, that's a level score difference. But my point is, the AK hits like a horse. It always has. I always liked the AK, but I wasn't using it at first. At first, this was my secondary, and I had a 229 ACR as my primary because the ACR is pretty stable, shoots faster, and and it reloads faster too, and I really liked it. But it just wasn't hitting hard enough for me. And also, I started hip firing a lot, especially when I'm doing speed farms like World Tier 2, Phoenix Credit, Clear Sky runs. I do those on occasion for regular credits. You get 71,000 each time, plus you sell the gear, you get a lot of credits from doing that. I don't know if they're ever going to patch that. I don't care if they reduce how many Phoenix credits you get for it. I only care about the regular credits. But I was running those a couple times, and I noticed that it was taking too much time to aim down sights to kill things. So I would just like run up to them, hip fire them down, and run away. And I noticed that even though the ACR shot faster, the AK was just killing a lot quicker, even with the lower rate of fire. But this thing kicks like a mule, but like I said, the hip fire is pretty good, and it just does way more damage, so that's why I chose using the AK as the primary. Plus, it also has like way more armor damage. My ACR had 18%, this is 23%, so it's an extra 5% armor damage. Mixed with I have destructive, and I also have some armor destruction on my gear, I think. But anyway, enough about this, about the why I chose it. I'm getting a little rambly here. I got armor destruction, brutal, and fierce. Fierce is in the bottom slot because fierce requires a lot of electronics to use, so luckily that rolled in the bottom slot. I don't remember what was in the middle, but I rerolled it to brutal for that extra headshot damage. And then obviously armor destruction is armor destruction. Like I said, I get the competent from my 182, which is 10% extra weapon damage for 15 seconds after using a skill. I have adept. Using a skill increases your critical hit chance by 7.5% for 15 seconds. So those two pair together nicely. 15 seconds I get more damage and more crit chance. And predatory, killing a target regenerates 35% health over 20 seconds. I could easily reroll that predatory for something like ferocious to do more damage to elites and bosses and named enemies or whatever, but predatory is really good, especially for farming, speed running, dark zone, whatever. It's a very good talent. It's not as good as, or it's much better than sustained. I almost said it wasn't as good, but I mean to say it is much better than sustained. Sustained is 6% health on kill. This is 35% over 20 seconds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you'd actually be kind of surprised. It really, really scales together nicely, like I said, with the 100% health regeneration that you get from your Alpha Bridge 2-piece, and also if you're standing inside of a support station, it's really good. Even if your support station is really weak and doesn't heal for much, it's really, really good, and I like it. As I said, I could easily reroll it for something more to do more damage. I could even reroll brutal to deadly to do more body shot damage, but normally you want to try to aim for the head as much as you can. I could reroll adept to something else, but I like having that extra crit chance because the pulse took a pretty heavy nerf in this patch. Well, not really necessarily a nerf, it's still really good of a talent or skill, but it's definitely not as good as it used to be, so I definitely like having that extra crit chance whenever I use my pulse, because that's usually what I do when I'm playing my Alpha Bridge set. I'll run an overheal to heal myself, or maybe a teammate needs it. It's a weak heal, but it's enough to heal me from like half health into the overheal or something. Not a full heal though. And then I have my pulse on with Tactical Scanner, and whenever I pulse, I mean, I can heal too if I need these two buffs, the competent and adept, but most of the time what I like to do is just pulse, because then I'm getting the benefits from the pulse, the benefits from competent, and the benefits from adept all in one go. So I'm going to get like 14% crit chance on the pulse, an extra 7% here, that's like 21%, and then I'm getting this extra 10% damage, and then I'm getting like 22% crit damage, I think is what my pulse is running at or something. So I'm getting a lot of benefits when I pulse, and it's really awesome. But into the gear, my chest piece is stamina with damage to elites and armor, and it's like I said, the reckless chest, you do 8% more damage, but you also increase how much you take by 10%. Sadly, the chest piece is increased kill XP and not ammo, and I do like getting more XP for killing. It helps out with the dark zone and just getting those field proficiency caches, but it is super annoying not having ammo capacity, because I'm always restocking, and it's like 1.3 all over again. And now in 1.4 you cannot use Lone Star 2-piece. You cannot throw Lone Star 2-piece on, restock, get that extra ammo, and then just take it back off, because now you lose the ammo. It's kind of disappointing, because I used to throw on 2-piece Lone Star, the police backpack, restock, get like 2,000 rounds, take it back off, and I'd be good to go for a while. But they removed it. I don't know why. It was a quality of life thing. I don't think it was really overkill to the game. I don't think it really ruined anything, but I'm not the game dev, so I don't know why they removed it. Anyway, I got 2 firearms mods in here. I try to keep my firearm or any of my mods at 190 or higher. So I got 196 with crit chance, 205 with exotic damage resilience. I would not really have exotic damage resilience if it was up to me. If I had more crit chance mods, I would use those, but I don't have many of them. So I went for EDR. EDR is not terrible. That's basically what protects you from explosions and fire. It does help, but I prefer to just do more damage. You can see my toughness isn't that great. My mass, Alpha Bridge mass, I'm still working on rolling the firearms higher. I only got 973 on here. Yeah, because I have a stamina mod, so I only got 973 on here. I'm working on getting it higher. The game's not been good to me for that, but it's got damage to elites at 10% and increased kill XP. And I have a 207 stamina with 260 armor stamina mod in there. Knee pads are Alpha Bridge again. I got a stamina roll on there. I don't know what it is. I think it's like 1004 with armor, which is not max, but it's pretty close to max. All these resistances. And then I have a 201 stamina with crit chance and a prototype pulse crit hit damage. Backpack, Alpha Bridge, firearms with armor, and burn resistance with a 196 with 1% crit chance firearms mod, 2 pulse crit hit damages. Again, my backpack does not have ammo capacity. It's really annoying. I don't know why I got unlucky and got both my chest and backpack without ammo capacity. It's really annoying. I'm trying to get it changed. I thought about dropping the reckless chest, getting an Alpha Bridge chest, and getting a specialized backpack for this build, which I might still do if I can find one. What that'll basically do is I'll lose the benefits of reckless, so I'll lose that 8% damage, but I'll also stop taking that extra 10%. But what it'll basically do is, if I can get an Alpha Bridge chest with a good roll on it, and take it off, I'll take off this backpack and put on my specialized backpack, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. And basically what that'll do is the specialized backpack takes 200% of your firearms and stamina and converts it to electronics. So that'd be 10,600 firearms and 9,200, if I'm doing the math right, stamina, and it'll convert it to skill power, which will help out with my healing doing more, my pulsing for higher, and like I said, then I'll stop taking that extra damage. Sure, I'll lose the extra 8% damage I do, but it's not like a huge amount. And my gloves are Savage gloves. They're not the greatest. 1004 on the firearms roll. Critical hit chance is increased by 7% against targets out of cover. The gloves are something I'm not willing to get rid of. This is a solid DPS increase. There's no negatives to this except that they have to be out of cover, but most of the time they are out of cover, at least for me. And even if they're not, I'll just rush them and get close to them, and that usually puts them out of the cover. So this is like a solid increase. I love Savage gloves. They're like really good. And now that there's no 268 gear, you can confidently run Savage gloves without worrying about your gear score getting lowered and people being like, oh, why is your gear score so low, and having to explain to them that you're running Savage gloves. Mine is still not maxed because of that 182 weapon I have, but I really don't care. If people want to argue with me, I'll just be like, well, I'm the smart one using a lower level weapon to get my talents easier, so who looks like the idiot now, you know? But the rolls are kind of poopy. Damage to elites is good. Critical hit damage is good, but the shotgun damage is not because I don't use shotguns. I would really like that to be crit chance, but it's not needed because the crit chance is here. Of course, more crit chance always helps, up until the cap, that is. But these are not terrible rolls. That's why I have them. But they could be better. But then again, most of my gear could be better. Holster had 900 on almost all the rolls, like 900 plus. The lowest one was stamina at 940, so I gave it a re-roll. And the armor's at 615 with a maximum of 640. So again, the armor's not maxed. The armor's not maxed on any of my gear, but it's close enough. So that's my holster. Nothing amazing. Got a pulse crit hit damage mod in there. And I'll go over my exact stats now. 5374 firearms, 4403 stamina, 2251 electronics. I got 19,939 weapon damage with a 21% chance to crit, 77% critical hit damage, 99% headshot damage, 2% accuracy, 5% stability, 26 meters is optimal range for the AK, reload time is 3 seconds. All weapon damage bonus is 13%. Don't care about the shotgun damage bonus. I got 25% damage to elites, 38% enemy armor damage. There's my skill power, 67,000. It's kind of low. I like to have at least around 100,000. Even if you're not a skill power build, having at least 100,000 really helps out, makes you heal yourself more. Toughness is 254. I have 132,000 health with 51% armor, which is not bad. I'd like to have at least 50%. In order to achieve that, you need to have armor on your chest, backpack, knees, and holster. You can see I got it on my chest, backpack, knees, and holster. Now, if you're going for a glass cannon build, then you don't need armor, but you're gonna die really, really fast. But I mean, if you really want to do a glass cannon build, that's up to you. To be honest with you guys, I would love to do a glass cannon build, but the only reason I haven't is because the way threat generation works in this game is broken. Even if you have a dude with a riot shield with an increased threat generation muzzle on his pistol, he still can't hold the aggro. Even if all the DPS were sitting in the back using suppressed guns and he's using a loud gun, he still isn't going to hold all the aggro. The enemies are still going to shoot you guys, and it makes being a glass cannon extremely annoying and just boring. I would love to be a glass cannon. I've always loved glass cannon builds in different games like Diablo 3, the Wizard, the Demon Hunter. They do a lot of damage, but they can't really take a lot of damage, so they have to kind of stay back and let the Crusaders and Barbarians take the damage for them, and it's always been fun. But you know, I can't do that in this game. Health regeneration. Here's that reckless chest piece coming in here. Again, I'm probably going to replace that, which will send my toughness up to around 280,000. Because apparently how much damage extra you take is affected by the toughness. I didn't know it was, but it is. They recalculated how toughness scales and whatnot. Exotic damage resilience, again, I'm probably going to take that off because 2% isn't really much. My other resistances, increased kill XP, rewarded credits, Dark Sun influence, all that crap. So that's pretty much the bread and butter of this build. I do have other builds I'm working on, but this one is the one that I'm rolling with the most, and it's the one that's closest to being completed. So I figured I would just go ahead and show it to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, I apologize for being inactive for so long. I'm going to try to get back to making videos now that I got OBS working again. I do love OBS. It's a great program, but when you have problems with it, it can be really frustrating because it's a very complicated program to use. It's not just like you just load it up and you go. I mean, there's a lot of settings and different things you have to tweak and personalize to use. I mean, recording is not as easy as it sounds, guys. I mean, I put a lot of effort into these videos, and that brings me to one thing I wanted to ask. If you guys do enjoy my videos, please just take 1 second to click the like button. I mean, if you really like someone's content, is it really that hard to just click one button? I don't think it's that hard, and I would really, really appreciate it. I mean, likes don't specifically give me anything. They don't give me money. They don't give me anything. I mean, they make my channel look a little bit better if my videos have a lot of likes, but what they really do is they make me feel good, because it makes me know that you guys love my content. So if you really, really like my content, please take 1 second, click that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I can get a stream out today, depending on how I'm feeling. I'm not feeling very good at all, so we'll see. But yeah, that's it.